First things first, let's talk about facts and works. Your boy mash no works. Talk about guns, we on that work. Never. And to make shit worse, I got all 5, that's real blood first. He got jinged and he got burst. Next outcome getting put in the dirt. Dead boy. How the fuck are they king of this? How? When none of them's king and shit. Pussies. It was me who got man yitch that yitch in front of his bitch. Oh no. Now we glad we bruised like witch. Spot me your op man's letting it rip.
Welcome to today's video. I've got the cap on. The cap is returned for prep, which means one thing. It means we're getting into the business side of prep now. A couple of weeks into dieting, feeling it a little bit now, looking a bit leaner in the face. It's game time. We're in for pull, hip hinge today, but I'm running a D-volume week this week, purely just because, and I'll dive through this in clips of the video or just in between sets and stuff like that, but I've been up here for 9 weeks now, and I've not had a deload since I've been up here. Over the past recent week, I've just feeling a little bit draggy. Like for example, it was 11 a.m. in the morning, walking the dog, and I just felt like shit. I was dragging my ass about, and I was like, this is 11 o'clock in the morning, I shouldn't be dragging my ass about. So I knew it was coming, spoke to AJ about it, and we then decided to run a D-volume week rather than take some time off. I'll explain throughout the video the difference between the two and how you can approach it, but the reasons why I've mainly done it is I'm prepping right now. Me taking time off, I don't really want to. I feel quite guilty about doing that. So for me, going into the gym and running lower volume, roughly about 40-50% reduction of what I'm used to, I think is going to be more beneficial for me to keep build momentum. My mindset as well, as I'm in prep, continue training, but doing less work and just bringing quality to the session. So I've got stiff legs today. I'm going to try and, I will get 180 for set of 10 today on the block pulls, which will be, I think, an all-time PB. And then the rest of the session is one working set, back off sets only, so 12 to 15, 15 to 20. And the total sets for this session is like 7-8 working sets. It's not much, but it still allows me to train. It doesn't allow me to detrain myself, and I can continue chasing down lobber numbers, but just doing less. So I've ran this for the whole entire week. Today's Thursday. I'll be running this till Sunday. I've already done Monday, Tuesday session as well, and Sundays. So a full week of that. And then next week we'll be back to normal volume. So as always, nothing changes. Head is in the game. 19 weeks out. We're gonna fucking bring it. Come on, Georgie boy, you little cunt. Sorry, I shouldn't say that because I'll get demonetized. Terrible for it. Basically, I found out now, if you swear in the first couple of minutes of your videos, you're fucked. I'm fucked already. You might have to start beeping them out, guys. Beep, beep. Anyway, let's fucking do this. Oh shit. Let's do this. Business. Right, just to explain the setup, because in my previous video, I said I'm about 2 inches off the ground, and I mean, if that's 2 inches, then I'm gonna be worried, because that's definitely not 2 inches. So I'd say it's about 3-4 inches off the ground with a block pull. I'm still aiming for about mid-shin, just below mid-shin, because I see a lot of people when they're doing like a block pull, they're doing it from the knee, and in my opinion, that's just it's basically a rack pull, or I like to call it a trap pull, because when you're pulling just from the knee, the only thing you're really stimulating is gonna be your traps. So if you are doing a block pull, certainly do it about mid-shin or just below the mid-shin. Now for me, the reason why I was incorporating this is I struggle with a stiff leg. My arms are very short, I've got fucking girl arms. If I go down to the floor right now with a bar, I'm immediately creating knee flexion. So I'm like this, where in a stiff leg with the blocks, it allows me to keep my hips nice and high, it allows me to pull with my legs stiffer, and ever since I've been doing that, I've noticed I'm actually doing a stiff leg and it's fucking hard. I don't know what I was doing before. So little things like this, you just learn as you go. This is my preferred method of pulling. I feel it where I need to. I'm not fucking sore or thin in other areas the next following day. So it's all about what works with you, for example. So this is how I'm gonna set up my block pull. Try it, see how it works. Common mistake I see with hip hinges, and you may notice me exaggerating it towards the end, is actually driving my hips through to the bar. When it comes above the knee, this is where your glutes come into play. And I see a lot of people with their lockouts because they have weaker glutes. So try and think about when you are pulling above the knee, hips come through to the bar. Almost like you're thrusting your misses. Good little reference, but it's the bar, unfortunately. Another tip, and I say this to quite a lot of my clients as well, is don't hyperextend at the top. Just come up to a neutral position, because I see so many people do this. Like they're trying to squeeze their lower back or something. Don't bother doing that, it's just more range of motion. I wouldn't recommend it. Just go up to a normal upright position. And that's it, that's all you need to do. God, didn't even press play, fuck's sake. I'll do that again. I ain't recorded it again. Fuck is going on? Yep. Cool. 180's on, 100%. Let's do this. I started prep here. I'm nearly in the next hole. So we're getting leaner. I was watching a Trained by JP video before this, and one thing he said is that the people that do the hard stuff in prep are the ones you can see that on stage, basically. Like when I turn to the rear on stage, exactly what JP said, you know, they're gonna see I've been doing the hard stuff. I mean, 180 isn't fucking hard for most people, but for me, you know, I've never been able to hip hinge that much before, ever. I've never been great at hip hinging. So this shows in my back, and you'll see in my back shots later on this year, you'll see that I haven't missed this. And this is the hard work. This is the stuff that you need to be doing, because it's easy for me now just to say, oh no, I'm not gonna do this anymore. But the ones that have the density on stage, the ones that are willing to show that, are the ones that fucking do the hard stuff throughout. So this is gonna be a must throughout my whole entire prep, no doubt about it. Fucking do this, George, come on. Do the hard shit.
Let's go. Knock it out. Yes.
10. One rep up. Thanks.
What I can see that angle, look at
Much better pull.
much better. You're still like in the conventional deadlift groove sometimes with like trying to dip the hips.
Yeah.
But your hips
It's better than what it was before.
Oh yeah, sounds better.
100. I was a little bit apprehensive about going into this and doing, because obviously I've got a 6 to 9 rep range on this.
Yeah.
Last time I got 9. So I was like, I really want 10 this week. And I'm feeling today's the day that I've been feeling pretty good. So
you actually find that like maybe the next 4 or 5 pounds might actually improve your hip hinge mechanics. That's what I find. You lose 5 pounds, you actually feel like a bit of body fat off around here. You actually feel like you can get into position a bit better.
Yeah.
So
and I've had
I'd go 185 definitely next week.
Next week, yeah. I had some treatment as well early in the week. That massively helped my right hip, because my left lat and my right hip was sore. So he just said it's like this band that goes across that's causing this side to go like this because of your hip. And I can feel it today, it feels much better. Good stuff. Told you I'll get 10, no fucking about. The last one was a bit of a grinder though, I must admit. A little bit sus. 10 reps, motherfuckers, and I'm fucking prepping. That's the best I've ever done. Right, final warm up. Again, just preserving my energy for the sets that count. I've only got one set here, so I'm pretty warm. I don't need to waste too much time warming up on something like this. So I'll probably do 1 or 2 reps now, and then straight into 84.6. So actually with these prime handles, the only bad thing about prime handles is you can't add any straps to them. So my grip always goes before my back. So now what I do, and I feel a little bit dickish doing this because it's such a nice expensive piece of kit, is I actually put a little bit of chalk on my hands so I can do it. One working set, that's all we're doing. 13 to beat, I'm getting 15. How many was that?
19. I swear.
Did you count how many that was by any chance? How many?
You did a lot, yeah.
He said 19. Okay, so a little bit of context behind the D volume. Like I said earlier, it allows me to continue training and it allows me to keep progressing logbook numbers. So like I said, it's about 40-50% reduction in total volume across the session. But my main aim is to still beat what I did previously. And obviously, as I'm doing less volume, chances are I'm going to be able to progress that. I'm not trying to psych myself up for any sets. As you saw probably on the pull down there, I probably could have gone for 1 more realistically if I wanted it. But I'm just going to be digging into my recovery right now. So this session, realistically, I mean, outside of obviously doing the stiff leg, should take about 45, 55 minutes for me max. And it's a case of just doing what I need to do, getting in, getting out, and resting and recovering. These sessions may seem pointless to some people, but in my opinion, like, I enjoy being in the gym. I enjoy progressing my logbook numbers, and I don't mind doing lesser volume for a week, which allows me to keep staying on track. Because when you do take time off, you sometimes detrain yourself. So for me, when I have a 4-day deload, the first couple of sessions back, it takes me probably 2 or 3 sessions to actually fully get back into what I was doing before, because your body goes into a state of where it's detraining itself. So from there, when I go back into it, the next following week after deload normally is where I start to pick up. And for me, like right now, I don't really want to be wasting time, and I can't really afford to be losing out on progression. So the D volume still allows me to train. It still allows me to not detrain myself, and I'm still chasing logbook numbers. You could complain. Some people might say like you're not fully resting, that sort of stuff. But for me, like, I feel like it's Thursday already. I feel 10 times better than what I did at the beginning of the week. So I definitely think it plays a massive part. Anyway, enough fucking waffling. Let's get on with the session. Yep. 77.5 for a set of 12 last time. Do 80 for a set of 12 this week. Everything I've called so far, so I'm getting it. 3, 2, 1. Yep, mine. Thank you. Keep fucking calling it. That's how we do shit. Right, moving on to the gym shop. Unilateral pull down. I actually tried to explain this in one of my recent videos, but I can do it now that Gaz is here. With a machine like this, obviously the beauty of it is you can freely rotate at the wrist. This has got no weight on it at the moment, but what I want to simply think about in this position is instead of lining myself up like you usually would do, try and take a slight lean to the side that you're obviously pulling down from. From there, what I'm trying to think about is engaging my lat. So I'm already trying to flex my lat in this position. And then from there, we don't want to try and think about upper back at all. So a lot of people row back like this, not upper back. Try and think about your elbow down to the base of your spine or down to your hip. So your elbow should always be in front of you. So when we're coming down, we're almost coming down like this. It's a lot harder to do with no weight on, but we're coming down like this. Staying in with your active range of motion. No need to be over exaggerating like that. Staying with active range of motion. Down. Down. And just finding that peak contraction. So we're not coming all the way back down here. We're finding that peak contraction on the lat. I personally like to supine my wrist a little bit. So you've got a neutral grip there. Obviously you've got your pronate. Little supine of the wrist there. Perfect contraction on the lats. So give it a try next time round when you're doing like a single arm pull down, whether it's with a D handle, whether it's on a pull down machine, or whether it's something like this. Give it a try. Game changer. Also, just a quick one on the D volumes as well. It gives you an opportunity to reset some of your log numbers as well. So a few things that I'll be doing this week on some particular exercises is I've just taken a step backwards from chasing the log number and actually resetting it, because I've noticed, so for example, the gym shot flat press, I've been progressing that really nicely. But what I have noticed is I finished the set as of recently, I'm not really feeling too much. So I've actually took a step backwards this week, went down about 10 kilos aside, and I just reset my form. And I just made sure that it felt good. I finished the set and I got a good pump, and I actually woke up the next day and had some DOM. So an opportunity in a D-volume week. So if you are moving weight from A to B, or your form slightly slipped on something, good opportunity to try and reset it as well. Not everything though, not everything. So once you start resetting everything, you're fucking pussy. Yeah. I reckon I do 3 plates for 12. You may notice I did a 1 count in the length and range, so that's just to really standardize my form, because what you may notice if I just did continuous is then I'm using a little bit of stretch reflex momentum when I'm in that length and range, whereas when you hold it for a 1 count, you're pretty much standardizing every rep that you're going to do. 1, bam, 1, bam. Whereas if I'm doing this, over time, I know what's going to happen when I start fatiguing. So a great way to take it there with accuracy is just a little standard 1 count in that length and range. Makes a massive difference as well, and you'll feel that stretch in your lats. That was 12. My lucky number's 12, so today's a good day. No 50-50 reps. This is probably the, even though I don't train like a pussy, but for me, this sort of standard is slightly pussy. Like, I know I probably could have got 1 more there, but it's just trying to remind myself why I'm fucking deloading. I don't need to bury myself, do I? Because I'm just defeating the objective of this deload period. So, no 50-50 reps. Just go where I can't do any more comfortably, and then move on. I've also just found £1 on the floor. Thank you very much, and I'm not giving it back to whoever it was. Snooze, you lose. Rear delt fly. I think I mentioned this in one of my last videos. Elbows nice and high. Slight rolling of the shoulders allows me to isolate the rear delts a little bit more, because on a rear delt fly, you can really use your traps. Your traps are obviously going to be a secondary for this, so don't need a lot of weight on this. Don't need to overextend back. Don't need to be doing that, if you want to call it that. I just find, like as always, try and find that peak contraction on something like this. High rep set, 12 to 15, 1 set. Boring, but it's needed. Cool. 1 rep up. Oh, I didn't know that was you there. Should have known with the fucking size of you, boy. Yeah. 16s. Come on. No, 14s. Shit. Forgot I was deloading then. I was all right, 16s for a set of 8. I thought I'd get 12, that was 10. That's fucking hard. Right, little demonstration on how to perform this properly. Right, okay, so this is the angle of the bench. I don't know what degree it is for those mathematics people out there, but that's the angle that I have the incline bench set up. Now, just to demonstrate how I want you to perform this, is just let your arms naturally hang. In this position, just let your arms naturally hang. I try and actually flex my bicep in this lengthened position here, so that means I'm fully lengthening my tricep. From here, what I want to try and think about doing is all the range of motion is I keep my elbow in that fixed position. So from here, I'm doing this. This is all the range of motion. Don't need to come forward like this. You just simply stay in that active range like that. Back down, fully lengthen, contract the tricep, come up to about halfway, find that peak contraction, back down. Now, as you start fatiguing, I don't mind seeing a little bit of the elbow coming forward like this, because realistically, you're gonna fatigue in this position a lot quicker, and if you're trained like a pussy, you're gonna just stop after that. So I don't mind a little bit of leading the elbow forward when you're trained to failure, especially if you are training hard. So a little thing like that can make a massive difference. So just try and think about letting your arms naturally hang, staying in a fixed position with the elbow, finding that peak contraction. Just doing that for a fucking couple of reps, my fucking biceps pumped, boy. They are pumped to shit. So, same sort of rule apply with the, as I mentioned with the incline bench. When I'm in this lengthened position, trying to think about contracting my hamstring, fucking hell, contracting my tricep. And then from there, the range of motion is very short. So this is all I'm doing in this motion here. Letting that shoulder relax as well. Don't bring that shoulder forward like this. Trying to let it relax. So the range of motion again is going to be shorter, but all you're trying to do is find that peak contraction. I actually had someone ask me on Instagram how I've improved my arms over this off season, and a lot of it is to do with something like this. Focus on less of the weight, because I'm using 13.6 kg. I did 15 reps then. It's not a crazy amount of weight, but how my biceps feel after completing that set says a lot more. So less, when it comes to especially bicep and tricep work, in my opinion, less focus on the overloading aspects, more focus on the isolate. Of course, you've got to be mindful of overloading it over time. You can't continue curling 8 kilos for the rest of your life and expect bigger arms. But that shouldn't be the first focus. I think the weight normally comes with time, but just focus on the internal stimulus, focus on what's going to get you a pump, focus on that metabolic stress, the blood flow. Anywhere from like 8 to 15 reps, I think works really well for your arms. So that is pretty much the session done. Pretty swift. I don't even know what the time is. It only took probably an hour, maybe an hour and 10. Just because obviously I did deadlifts. So I didn't do deadlifts, that would have only been 45 minutes. Really quick, efficient session. Took it to failure, but I didn't go beyond. I didn't do no 50-50 reps. I haven't psyched myself up for any sets at all. And it's just a case of doing what I need to do, which is progress my allotment numbers, 40-50% less reduction in volume. Get out now, eat my post-workout, crack on the rest of my day, make sure my sleep is in a good position, make sure my stress is managed, make sure I just chill the fuck out. So normally I spend 2 hours in the gym. I'm gonna use that extra time now just to do fucking nothing. And I don't think I did this in 2019. I neglected the importance of doing nothing because I was so like, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that, which is great, but when it comes to you getting in contest prep shape, it will bite you in the fucking ass, and it bit me on the ass massively in 2019. So I'm actually gonna go home. I've got not much planned for the rest of the day, so I'm gonna chill the fuck out. Rest day tomorrow, 2 more D volume sessions across the weekend, and then Monday we're back into usual volume, and that puts us 18 weeks out. Might do some posing if Jack's available, see what we're looking like. Doing 2 rounds after every session so far, every day. So just getting into the habit of posing more. My presentation is gonna be massively leveled up from what it was in 2019, because I'll be honest with you, I freestyled it massively. So now I'm just really making sure, because presentation is so key. I see so many great physiques and they can't present their physique on stage properly. So I want to make sure that I can present it as best as I can, because I've not got the greatest physique out there. But if I can present it better, then perfect. It might put me up a few points on stage. Yeah, we'll see if Jack's available, and then we'll fucking crack on.
Opening up a bit better now as well. Glute looks fucking great there. Fuck me. You're dropping it. Fucking nice class. Yeah. Elbows back. Wrists back as well. Yeah.
Definitely leaner.
Yeah.
It's just not reflecting on the scale weight at the moment.
Oh, fuck's that.
That concludes today's D-volume session. So it was good, numbers beating pretty much on everything. I was really happy about my 180 for a set of 10 on the block pulls, which was good. I think that's an all-time PB. Like I said earlier, my main goal of this session was to go in with intensity, of course, but no like psyching myself up, no sort of 50-50 reps. Saving that for obviously next week. So mentally that's quite hard for me to do, because I'm always like quite an extreme person when it comes to that side of things. But I told myself, look, just don't make the mistakes that you made last time. And in my 2019 prep, I didn't even deload once in the 37 weeks that I prepped. No deload, just continually battering myself. So the fact that I've actually taken a D-volume a couple weeks into it, I've obviously grown and changed my mindset quite massively. So this is probably the final session that you'll see on the channel when it comes to D-volume and boring stuff. Then next week we're back into some really fucking heavy, hard training, taking it all the way there. Because I feel really good. Like I feel good on today's Thursday. First day I felt like 0 fatigue or lesser fatigue. Because leading up to my training sessions, I was like, I can't be fucked to go, which is never like me. And I know that's a telltale sign. Like when I'm looking around at others in the gym and focusing on what they're doing, that's a telltale sign that George needs a deload. So now I'm really focused in my training sessions. I'm gonna play the long game. I'm gonna wait over the weekend and do those D-volume sessions. As much as I don't want to, I'm gonna do it. And I know by the time I get around to Monday for legs, I'm gonna be ready to fucking rock and roll. Monday, we'll be recording a full day of eating on prep, so that should be something you look forward to. And we'll also be recording legs as well. So plenty of content coming out as always. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Engagement, the response, the comments, all really appreciated from myself. Comment down below a hat if you watched the whole thing. When the hat comes on, we mean business. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I got all 5, that's real blood first. He got ringed and he got burst. Next outcome getting put in the dirt. How the fuck are they king of this? How? When none of them's king and shit. It was me who got man.